Hey, good morning. Money Tuesday time. You know, we know the world of money can be a tough one to navigate alone. So that's why many people do turn to financial advisors. But how do you know who to choose? Stewart Welch with the Welch Group joins us this morning on how you should be evaluating your advisor. Good morning.
Good morning, Janice.
Good to see you. So I think a lot of people, first I want to address this, a lot of people may think, I don't make a lot of money, I don't have a lot of investments, I can't afford a financial advisor. But you've always said you can afford to let someone look at your money in certain ways, right?
Yeah, I do. I do think that your money's important to you, and it's whatever the amount is, it's what you have, and so I think it's really important. And there are advisors that'll work on an hourly basis, and there's lots of places to go. But I think it's important that either you be educated or you've got to get some help, because it's a pretty complicated field.
It is. And so let's look at, you said evaluating your advisor. Here's what you need to do. Starting with fiduciary status. What does that mean?
Fiduciary. So if you're a legal fiduciary, it means that you must act in the best interest of the client all the time in all matters. And I think what would surprise your audience is that only about 15% of financial advisors are legal fiduciaries. So think about this. If it was, would you want your CPA to be a legal fiduciary? And the answer would be yes.
Because what makes it different than someone who doesn't?
Well, they're held to a lower standard. And so I think you want to not question, are they acting in my best interest? And we'll talk about that in a minute when we get to compensation.
All right, well, let's look at that. Compensation method, that means how they make their money, right?
Yeah, so I think here's a great one. In general, I think you would like for them to be fee only, meaning that they don't sell any products. So the way I compare it is, if your CPA received commissions for the work they did, how would you feel about that? And I think people kind of instantly go, I'd be less comfortable. So fee only, and the way you find out is you ask them, and they cannot say they're fee only, and if they ever receive any commissions for selling any products, and they can't say they're fee only if their company ever receives commissions. So it's just a question you ask. Usually we'd say ask in writing, ask for a response in writing.
Okay, because a lot of these people handling your money, and I think we think it's going to be money out of pocket that you pay someone, say they're handling your 401k, but that's not the way it works, right?
Yeah, so it is, it can be retirement money, it can be personal money, but they are getting paid somehow, and you just want to know how that is and be comfortable with that.
All right, the next thing you say is communication.
Communication. So particularly last year was a pretty rough year, and you like to have your advisor be proactive so that they're up, talking about the market. The market was down almost 20% last year. Talking about the market, kind of helping you through that. And
knowing if you need changes or not.
Knowing if you need changes, but also taking your temperature and making sure you're comfortable with that.
All right, responsiveness.
Responsiveness. So I was at a charity event and sitting with an older gentleman. The subject of financial advisors came up, and he said, I've been with my financial advisor 2 or 3 years, and not only have I never gotten a phone call from him, I have called him and not gotten a response. That's a clear indication you need to be looking around.
Might be need to change. All right, the last thing is investment performance.
So last year's pretty rough year. I think the first thing is you want to look and see how did you do, and then kind of compare it to what your advisor expectations were. If you had losses, were those losses kind of in the range of something that you might expect? All
right, so some good advice there. And real quickly, where would people start to find someone? How would you suggest that?
Well, I think certified financial planners are by law, they are fiduciaries. So I think you want to start with a fiduciary. You can go to cfp.net and they will lead you to CFPs within your area.
All right, very good. Stewart Welch, Mayor of Mountain Brook.